guys, and welcome to the pull list section of this week's Coffee and Heroes show. Again, I missed out on doing this last week, just such a crazy week. I'll see if I can throw up a little catch-up video, but my pull list is actually still in store from last week. So you'd think I didn't do a lot of reading, but a couple of omnibuses later I would tend to disagree. Read Ultimate Spider-Man while we were away over the weekend. Also read the Hawkeye omnibus as well, just getting caught up with that, and it's such a great piece of work. But I'm here this time to talk about my pull list for this week. So again, as ever, this is just what I'm reading this week. This is what's on my pull list. This is by no means exhaustive of everything that came out this week. This is just what's on my pull list, and it's huge as ever. So we'll kick things off with Superman, Son of Karl. So we're up to issue 7 of this. So this is this is Tom Taylor. I see Kian Tormey is on this as a stand-in artist. I believe was the artist on the Superman Son of Kal-El annual as well. So we're in very, very safe hands here. So we're up to issue 7 of that. Essentially entering the second arc territory at this point. I'm rather sad that this is out this week and also elated because this is one of DC's best titles. This is fantastic. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We're up to issue 7 of 8. This, of course, is the Tom King, Bill Quay Evely series. It'll be hitting hardcover soon, I'm sure. And when it does, make sure to get on it if you haven't been on the single issues, because this is brilliant. Top-tier storytelling, amazing artwork. And again, I've said it before, it's usually about a character that I wouldn't really have a lot of interest in, but that creative team got my attention. And again, that is one of the best titles around at the moment. Next up, and definitely with one of the covers of the week, I think, is Robin's number 3. This has been a cracking wee title so far from Tim Seeley. Really, really enjoying it. It's essentially bringing all the Robins together to solve a mystery. No Batman involved here. Speaking of Robins, or Robins who graduate, we also have Nightwing this week. So we're up to issue 88 after the absolutely phenomenal issue 87. So again, this is like a jumping on point as well for people if they want to get on to Nightwing. I really would recommend 87 as well. It was more of a one-shot story and obviously had that larger format for how it worked. But in terms of jumping on points, either 87 or 88 is perfect, and you really don't want to be missing out on Nightwing at the moment. Next up, we have Detective Comics. So this, of course, is a weekly release at the moment. We're doing the Shadows of the Bat storyline. Mariko Tamaki, Matthew Rosenberg. I see Ivan Rice is on art on this one as well. Never a bad thing. And again, I always just collect the Bermeo variant covers, which are always pretty glorious. Next up, speaking of starting points, we have Catwoman 39. Now, 39 does not sound like a starting point, Alan. Are you crazy? Well, no. The reason it's a starting point is because 39 is the start of a brand new creative team. So, Tini Howard has come over from Marvel and is going to be doing the writing duties on Catwoman, taking over from Ram V. Ram's run was brilliant. Ram V, of course, took over from Joelle Jones prior to that, and now we have Tini Howard. I'm really curious to see what is done with the title now, and I really enjoy Catwoman anyway. And again, I always collect the variants, as you well know at this point. What do we got? Next up, we have book 5 of 6 of Batman vs. Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham. Again, just really fun. It's a stripped-back Batman story, I think, in terms of it being very detective-based. There's nothing outside of Gotham. There's nothing to do with other superheroes. It's very much straight a Batman detective story. Definitely one of my titles to look forward to most this week for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons, really. Art by Carmine Gian Domenico, which is a great artist, first of all. Second of all, it's a Batman title. Third of all, it's Chip Zdarsky. So we have Batman the Night. So this is a 10-issue miniseries. This is essentially going to be it's sort of covering the time almost that the first half of Batman Begins did, I suppose, in a way. It's showing Bruce and his journey to becoming Batman. Think of it as, it's filling the gaps between when Bruce's parents died and Bruce Wayne returning to Gotham in Batman Year 1 by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. But yeah, this is definitely one of my top titles this week. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a 10-issue miniseries. Next up, we have Venom number 4. So we're continuing on with the Ram V. Brian Hitch run on Venom. It's interesting that Al Ewing's name is conspicuous by its absence. They co-wrote issue 1, but issue 2, 3, and 4 has all been Ram V, which I'm not complaining about. But I just find it interesting because originally it was pitched as a collaborative title between the two of them. But we've only really been getting the Ram V stuff so far. But again, I'm not going to complain about that. Next up, I'm going to show you a cover that we don't have any of left because, of course, this is one of those ridiculous cash grabs, FOMOs, speculating, whatever you want to call it. We're 15 issues in, so when we're 15 issues into a title with no real starting points, we only really order in the correct amount for pull lists. So in this case, it's Strange Academy number 15. So this has a new character called Gaslamp. They've been teased before in this. I mean, I've always been telling people, read Strange Academy, because class. It's a brilliant title. But you always get a point in the single issue where it's speculation gone wild. I've seen this already, £15 and so forth on eBay. But again, if it's on your pull list, you're guaranteed it. It's bagged and boarded, and it's cover price every time. So that is that. Next up is another one I'm really excited about, which is Silver Surfer Rebirth. So this is essentially telling stories during the Ron Mars, Ron Lim run on Silver Surfer back in the 90s. This one's actually a variant cover, I believe, by Dan Jurgens. Yep, Dan Jurgens for this one. But I have about 4 variants for this because I'm a surfer mark. Sorry. Not sorry. Next up, we have SheHulk out this week. So this is a brand new start for SheHulk. I think this will prove popular. You've got the SheHulk show coming up soon. I went for the Scotty Young variant because Vicky loves the Scotty Young stuff. But nearly every cover of SheHulk is glorious. We've got the main cover by Jen Bartel in store. We've got the Adam Hughes variant. We've got the Stanley Art Jerm Lau variant. And then we've still got 1 or 2 of the Scotty Young variants as well. Next up, we are staying with Marvel, and we have Moon Knight. First of all, did you see the Moon Knight trailer? It looks awesome. It dropped this morning. You can catch it on the Coffee and Heroes Facebook page. We shared a link to that. But just as good is the Jed Mackay series, which we've been really, really enjoying so far. So we're up to issue 7 of this now. First trade shouldn't be far behind if you're playing catch-up. Hulk number 3 is this week also. So we're continuing on with the weird Donny Cates ran Ollie Hulk series that I still don't think any of us really know what to make of. It looks fantastic. It's playing with some big ideas. It's entertaining. But where's it all going? Very, very different to Al Ewing's run, but again, it kind of needed to be. Next up, I'll put these 2 together simply because I'm going to be reading all of Devil's Reign, and these are 2 of the tie-in series. So you've got Devil's Reign Villains for Hire and Devil's Reign X-Men. I believe with X-Men that's going to be 3 issues in total, and I think Villains for Hire is the same as well. But again, I'm just loving Devil's Reign so far, so I'm going to jump into all of the tie-in issues. Next up, we have Defenders number 5, Al Ewing, Javier Rodriguez, one of the best looking books on the shelves, one of the most cosmic-based books on the shelves. A lot of fun, very retro this title, really, really been enjoying it. And the Mask Rider is revealed. Interesting. Next up, we have another Spidey title. So this week sees the release of Ben Reilly's SpiderMan. So again, I went for the Scotty Young cover. So this is a spin-off series. Well, it's a spin-off series in a way because you've reintroduced Ben Reilly back into the Spider-Man universe, so to speak, through Amazing Spider-Man. But these are actually stories set back during the 90s run on Ben Reilly. So there's going to be a 5-issue mini-series. And again, I went Scotty Young because Scotty Young. Alright, we're moving into some indie stuff now. So, Walking Dead 31 needs no explanation. You're bored listening to me about the greatness of The Walking Dead, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But it's great. Next up, we have Time Before Time. So we are reaching issue 9 now. The Declan Shelby, Rory McConville, and Joe Palmer Looper Meets Saga title. I've been chatting to Deck again in the last couple of days. We're going to try and reorganize that signing for February. So we're just locking down a date at the moment, and I'll of course let you guys know through all the social media channels as always, but also on YouTube. Next up, we have Silver Coin. So the one-shot horror anthology series, different writer every time, same artist. So for this one, it is Matthew Rosenberg's turn to weave a horrible tale. And it is Michael Walsh, of course, series creator and artist on the title. Next up is the return of Seven Secrets. And that is definitely a good thing. So this is the Tom Taylor, Daniel DiNucculo. I always think this is like a manga title. It's so fast-paced. The art is very manga-influenced. Really fast-paced, as I say, but just great storytelling. Great characters as well. And again, this is a variant cover for it because I collect all the variants. Next up, we have Search for Hugh. This has been a really fun sort of Eastern meets Western type title. Again, through Aftershock titles, John Tissue and Steve Orlando writing and Rubang on art. It's just been a lot of fun. It's like a John Woo type movie. Trade won't be far away in that one as well. Next up, we have Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. So we're reaching number 3 of this, the Christopher Cantwell Conspiracy series. Again, been great so far. Boom Comics knocking it out of the park. Next up, we have Primordial. We're up to number 5. This is the 1 in 10 Virgin variant. I've just collected all of those. It's been a popular title for us in store. People seem to be really, really enjoying it. This is the Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentina title, of course. And yeah, 5 of 6 now. Next up, we have Game March's Laura and Other Stories. So this is, it's a bit soap opera-y, this, but I've been really enjoying it. It's a total change to everything else I read. But I loved everything that Game March did on Carmen, so I jumped into this. Read the first 2 issues back to back. Dug it. I'm looking forward to issue 3. Next up from Cullen Bunn, we have The Heathens. I've been digging this so far as well. You know, chasing Jack the Ripper across different timelines, different groups of characters trying to catch him. Again, very genre feeling to this. You know, bit of sci-fi, bit of fantasy, bit of swashbuckling. Really, really good title so far. 3 issues in. We have Good Asian. This actually came out last week, but I'm only getting my copy this week. The joys of waiting until everyone else is sorted when I get shorted on titles. What have I got? I'll pull these ones out just because the joys of plastic falling over all the time. Again, one of my favourite titles I'm looking forward to this week. Again, it's my wrestling side coming through. Crimson Cage, up to number 2 of this. This is the John Lee's Alex Cormack title. Issue 1 was bloody brilliant. We're going to be recording podcasts this week. We're definitely playing catch up, but we're definitely going to get caught up. And this was my title of the week when we get to that, so keep an ear out for that. Next up, we have Kanto. So we're up to issue 5 now of Kanto 3, Lionhearted. So 1 more issue to go after this. Of course, Drew Zucker, David M. Boer's Little Tin Man creation. And again, one of our favourite books in store. 2 more just to finish off with. So we have Animal Castle. I got second prints of the number 1 of this in last week. And then we've got a couple of spare number 2s this week. So in case anybody wants to jump onto it. This seems to be one of the most acclaimed in-demand titles of the year. So I haven't read number 1 yet. But just the reception to it's been very, very good. So again, we've number 1 and number 2 in store if you want to get into that. And then we finish off then with Bolero. So this is a brand new number 1 from Image. I remember chatting about this when it came to the previews podcast. This was one that we had on the previews board. The artwork in this looked fantastic. The colouring as well looks so atmospheric. And this is a massive oversized issue. Yeah, because you can really tell it's oversized. This is a massive oversized issue 1 as well. So a brand new Image 1 kicking off this week. So yeah, so that is my pull list minus variants, because you don't want another 20-minute video on top of what I've already put up. Or maybe you do, I don't know. But yeah, that's everything that's on my pull list this week again. So as ever, you see anything that interests you, any titles you want to jump onto, if you need advice for starting points or things like that, just get in touch with the store, pop into us. We can always guide you through that, so it's never a problem. And again, anything that's on pull list, I can't emphasize enough, get stuff on pull list when you can, guys, simply because you can avoid the whole secondary market, avoid speculation, and avoid the nonsense prices that comes with it. Coffee Heroes is always cover price, day release. So, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it proved useful as ever. And I look forward to seeing you guys in store soon. So again, take it easy.